the visual arts. And just to quickly, again, all the materials are in your kits. Just to quickly mention, this is of course led by Ms. Patis Tesoro, whose textiles and fashion will be interpreted by visual artists in different medium, including in paintings, in sculpture, and also we have the works of Miss Ana Orlina interpreted by Bayo. So in fashion naman. And you can see on we have a couple of photos there. The first photo with a long dress on the leftmost is actually a collaboration between Patis Tesoro and Francis Dravini as in a textile art, and then interpreted by Bayo. So that is also a part of our special exhibit, collaboration between visual arts and fashion. And Ana Orlina, we have her beside one of her works as interpreted, again, with what she's wearing by Bayo Atelier. And we have the book of Patis Tesoro. Of course, not to mention there's also a collaboration between an artist, a painter, and sculptor Ramon Orlina. That is the Beetle, painted by Dominic Rubio, that will also be on show as part of an exhibit we're calling a Luminous Collection. So that is also going to be featured at Manila Art as one of our cross collaborations. Moving on, I want to highlight at this point every time I try to call them, I think they try to exit and go to the washroom. Miss Judy, by the way, please join us in front. And this is just for like maybe a couple of questions if they would have after we're almost winding up, but we are waiting for our, okay, while she has stepped out, let me just move on, because we are also proud with the advocacy of Manila Art to really basically partner up and extend our cooperation and collaboration with exhibits, not just at the fair, but also in different locations. This year, one of our partners, of course, still year in and year out, our partner, Museo Orlina in Tagaytay, and they have a wonderful exhibit called Escultura. This is the 4th edition, and the Steampunk edition. And just to invite you quickly to their museo and the partner exhibit for Museums and Galleries Month. I think we mentioned that Manila Art and other shows in October are part of the calendar for the National Museums and Galleries Month in October. And their presentation, the presentation of Museo Orlina is Sculptura for Steampunk. Here to quickly just invite you to their exhibit is Mr. Michael Orlina.
Thank you, everyone. So yes, I'd like to invite you all. So actually, the show opened a while ago, but it runs until November 28th. So there's still a lot of time to see it. It's in Tagaytay, so please visit, and then you can enjoy your day in Tagaytay. A little bit about the show. Steampunk is known about like mixing science fiction and like the olden steam time days. But we use our artists, they use many different mediums. So there's wood, there's metal, there's glass as well. So please visit, and I hope to see you there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael. Of course, the youngest of the 3 Orlina sculptors, Michael. We have, of course, Ramon, Ana, his older sister, and Michael. Right now, since when I was calling you the first time around, you stepped out. That's all right. I thought that was on purpose. Just kidding. Well, in that case, I'll leave you for last because I hope to really give you the floor to talk about it more. But just quickly to invite you to another. Another one of our partner exhibits for the Museums and Galleries Month is Angla Art Gallery, this time in Angono, Rizal. Joy Bukalan, who is a good friend and partner also through a few years already, She couldn't join us, but of course, all the materials, again, are in your kit towards this Amono Women Artists Collective show called Lambana. So we invite you to that as well. So that's another partner exhibit. And last of the partner exhibits, before we go on to the partner event, is Gallery du Soleil in Taguig, of course, in our same home city of Taguig, here to invite you to their gallery and their MGM, some of their shows, both at Manila Art and the satellite show in Taguig, is Belay Rayos del Sol.
Hi everyone. So basically, Gallery du Soleil is a gallery in Taguig that we're dedicated to fostering the growth and success of emerging artists. So basically, this Manila Art will be featuring 4 artists. So the first one will be doing a solo show. His name is Nelson Recahuerta with his works in the lower right. His very first solo show in Manila Art will be titled Pahina, which basically symbolizes chapters in his life. And then the next show will be a group show by 3 people. It's entitled The Real, the Abstract, and the Sublime. So it will be featuring Ed Coronel, a hyper-realist artist. It would also be featuring Roberto Lolong, he's a pop abstractionist. And the third one would be our very own Danny Rayos del Sol, the only ostrich egg sculptor in the Philippines, but also now he's a painter. So we will be featuring those 2 shows in Manila Art, but then we will also be having a satellite show back in Gallery du Soleil. So it will be religious in nature. So it would be featuring the Oton tribal death masks. So these are actual gold artifacts from Iloilo, and alongside with it would be featuring the new paintings of Danny Rayos del Sol for his pre-show for the Visayas Art Fair. So the show is entitled the Iba't Ibang Mukha ni Maria. So it's all the faces of Mama Mary. So with those 2 in nature, the show would be called Between Earth and Heaven. So it captures the tribal side of things, but also the Marian and heavenly side. So I invite you all to go to our gallery. So that's what we have prepared for Manila Art. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We always tease them, this is the future of Manila Art, because this is actually the 2nd generation. Of course, Gallery du Soleil is founded by our Manila Art curator, Danny Rayos del Sol. I'm sure of whom those of you who have been with us for a few years, you're very, very familiar. He's very, very hands-on. But I'm also proud to say that the reason today that he is not emceeing here as he usually is instead of me, so I'm sorry that you have me today instead, is because with the Mirasol Outreach Foundation, he flew to Cebu doing relief, of course, for the humanitarian relief operations for our kababayans who were impacted by the earthquake. And so this is, of course, in partnership with his aid foundation, which is the Mirasol Outreach Foundation. He flies regionally, locally, everywhere, wherever he is needed. So this particular operation is in partnership with Zonta, Cebu, and Fort Bonifacio, and the Manila Art Foundation. I'm sorry that I cannot read the other logo, but it is there. And I just wanted to mention this. Of course, this is also with the support of the international French organization called Secours Populaire Français, of which Danny has been the regional representative, and on account of which he flew to Nepal during the earthquake a few years back, to Banda Aceh, to all those places where relief and help is needed. And so right now, if he couldn't be with us because he had flown to Cebu to conduct these humanitarian relief operations. And so going back, thank you. we go back to one initiative, a partner event that we are very, very proud of. And I really wanted, her to invite you guys, because this is the first time, the first ever San Pablo Arts Circuit involving not one, not two, not three, but 10 venues all over San Pablo and surrounds. And I will not preempt her, but rather introduce the City Arts, Culture and Tourism Officer, Miss Anne Alcantara, to invite you. This is happening the whole of October.
Thank you very much. Funny that I missed my cue. But it's ironic because everything about the San Pablo Arts Circuit has really been a confluence of forces coming together perfectly timed. So, and even just listening to the other speakers here, I feel there's an even larger confluence about to happen, because San Pablo is a coconut heritage plantation town. And I think that is a large reason why we are so steeped in the arts, because coconut is a very productive but easier crop than sugar or rice, because you plant it and you'll be harvesting for a long time. So we're very proud of our coconut heritage, and just last weekend we launched the Fule Malvar Mansion, which is a mansion owned by the coconut barons of the 1920s. We have now converted it, repurposed it into a center for culture and arts in San Pablo City. And when we did that, we also launched what we now call the San Pablo Arts Circuit. And as Amy said, let me backtrack a little bit. We're really honored that Manila Art chose San Pablo as a possible site for partnership. First, the idea started out with, like the other cities, maybe Manila Art, and then one event space, one exhibition within San Pablo. Pero ginanahan kami. Gusto namin galingan, and I think, like I said, the timing was perfect. So in just a matter of 100 days, we got 10 exhibition places, and they're all very interesting. These 10 exhibition places are composed of 2 museums. So the first museum is what I like to call the mother of all museums in southern Luzon, which is the Villa Escudero Museums, and they have 2, and they feature sacred art as well as all these beautiful collections from all over the world, collected by the Escudero family and housed in 2 large museum spaces. So it's very important for us that Villa Escudero joined us. And then we have another museum, which in contrast is a small museum, but I feel it's smallest, but it has the most depth. This is the Comiquero Comics Museum in San Pablo City, founded by Jerry Alangilan. Yes, I'm glad you know Jerry. So the late Jerry Alangilan was a fabulous comic creator, internationally renowned. His comic books have been translated in many languages. And he's also a prime mover, a driving force in the comics movement in the Philippines. So the Comiquero Museum showcases a wealth of Filipino comics, drawing not only from the second wave movement of Jerry Alangilan, but even earlier from the movement of Rudy Floresa, who is also from San Pablo, showcasing the wealth of our Philippine comics that has been vanishing. So that's why this little museum, it's really a small museum, but the collection is immense. So we have these 2 museums. And then we have 5 galleries. These are 5 galleries and 5 artist spaces. Very interesting in San Pablo. Many of them are within farms, and many of them are within nature sanctuaries that also foster art. So let me help you. I forget some. Let me tell you about some of them. One of them, I'll start with this one so I won't forget it. One of them is Casa San Pablo. Casa San Pablo is a B&B and a cafe. And Casa San Pablo is also known as a community art space in San Pablo. And for many years, they've been hosting a lot of art workshops and get-togethers with artists. So for our tie-up with Manila Art, which, by the way, we're calling Art Extravaganza, which I'll tell you in a little bit about. They're opening 2 galleries. One gallery is featuring the art of Lito Brion Balyaran, who is a celebrated watercolor artist from San Pablo City, but internationally renowned, recognized as a master mentor of watercolor. He will have a one-man retrospective in Casa San Pablo. A second exhibit within Casa San Pablo is called The Art of Gathering. It is an exhibit that brings you into the mind of a collector. So we thought that is an interesting perspective. Everyone is talking about artists who want to belong to a collection of somebody who's collecting. So here is an exposure of how does a collector think? What does he look for? Why does he get attracted? So this is the second exhibit in Casa San Pablo. The second place in gallery that's opening is within Paraiso de Abilidad. Paraiso Abilidad is also, it's not a resort, but it's like an artist community. It is a resort. They have a cafe, they have places to stay overnight, but more important, they position themselves as a place where artists can come together. And artists can come together to learn from each other, or artists can come for artist residencies and just to immerse themselves in the beautiful place there. They've opened up a gallery, and for Art Extravaganza, they have the Blanco family featured. Third gallery, we have Sulyap Gallery Cafe. So Sulyap is has become quite famous because they have 3 restored heritage houses. And for this exhibit, they're opening 3 galleries with different featured artists. And then we have Color Commune. Color Commune is run by Don Kipilan, who is also a gallerist. He has several galleries in Manila, but most important, he brings together artists also in his place, which is at the foothills. It's a beautiful place at the foothills of Mount San Cristobal. And for this weekend, coming weekend, and they're going to host an encuentro with how many artists? An encuentro with about 20...
56. Dalawa encuentro pa. 56 tsaka 36. Paraiso de Abilidad.
Okay, Paraiso de Abilidad is also hosting encuentro with
53 artists.
53 artists, and then
Color
Commune is
36 artists.
36 artists. So see all these artists coming from different parts of the Philippines to celebrate art. And so this will be a Color Commune and Paraiso de Abilidad. I'm thinking of 2 more.
Corridor.
Art Corridor. Art Corridor is a very important, it's a small gallery also, but a very important player in the art scene in San Pablo, because they're the ones with regular programming of exhibits, which is important for our artists. And then Verbena. Okay, Verbena Gallery is the gallery in the compound of Patis Tesoro. So they have a very important exhibit going on for this period, which is by a group of artists from PASPI. So that's the Professional Portrait Progressive Artists of the Philippines, Society of the Philippines. What they did is they painted portraits of sittings of models wearing Batiste Tesoro's beautiful fashion. And they really captured it in quite dramatic and engaging ways. So that's an exhibit at Verbena Gallery. And if you go to Verbena Gallery, you'll get to walk through the atelier of Batiste Tesoro, which is quite an experience as well. So that's a double experience.
Lake House.
And then, so those are the 5 galleries. So those are the public galleries. And then we have 3 private galleries that have joined us. Batiste being one already of the 3. And then we have the gallery of J. Orosa Paraiso, called the Lake House. Lake House is his studio. It's a beautiful mid-century modern house overlooking Sampaloc Lake. It is his studio, but he has allowed us to bring guests to his private sanctuary, which is now showcasing other artists from San Pablo. And lastly, from the Kerlan, Studio 88, which is again the studio residence of Ponce Veridiano, renowned landscape artist. His studio is, what's the word? Magnificent. It's a landscape wonder, but it's also a perfect showcase for his art. So the last 3 studios, the personal studios that I mentioned are by appointment. So what's the big thing? The big thing is that all of these art spaces have come together. And I'd like to acknowledge Salvi Del Sonda, who is here with us. Please help me acknowledge him. He is functioning as our program director now for what we call now SAPAC, San Pablo Art Circuit, or SAPAC. And we deliberately called it SAPAC because we don't want to send the image of genteel art. No, we want to say SAPAC, we're here to stay, we want to be recognized, and we feel that art and culture has a lot to contribute to the development of our city. We believe that this coming together of artists in partnership with the City Tourism Office is our foot forward in creating a creative community, a creative economy for San Pablo City. So we were very long time a coconut-driven economy, and well, the coconut industry is not what it was in the 1920s, but thank you for your efforts. Maybe it will be. And right alongside you will be us doing the creative part. So I love what you're doing because it's both the coconut and the creativity together. So this is SAPAC and Art Extravaganza, which we just launched last week, which will be running for the whole month of October in partnership with Manila Art, is our bid to have San Pablo be recognized for what we are, which is we are really a creative city, and we have all these creative activities to offer. We are so grateful to Manila Art for giving us the inspiration, Amy for giving us the inspiration, the energy, and the dream to really declare ourselves as such and to give us this platform to create San Pablo as a creative city. So please come. Oh, one more aspect of this, to support SAPAC, to support Art Extravaganza 2025, the city government of San Pablo has provided shuttle buses. So it's so much fun. You hop on in one spot and you're taken to at least 4, maybe 5 of these galleries and art spaces. And you get lunch in some of our really delicious restaurant serving coconut dishes, and then you can get dropped off. So we have 3 more weekends to go. You might want to come and experience it. Thank you very much.